At some point in time, I've come to realize that I will never beat Darkest Dungeon. I love Darkest Dungeon. I love all the characters. I love the music. I love the quality. I love the gameplay. I love the art. I love everything about Darkest Dungeon. I cannot beat Darkest Dungeon at all, whatsoever. Not even remotely, not even sort of, not even kind of, because RNG, Random Number God, owns my soul. And that's not even to say that I don't find the game enthralling, that I don't understand why the game is so hard, because it's all about being a roguelike. It's about stress management through your characters. It's about working with resources. You know, it's like resource management in a roguelike RPG, effectively. And it's what I feel like the closest thing you could even get to a tabletop game in roguelike fashion. But I am never, ever going to beat Darkest Dungeon. Ever. Right, yes, now that that's out of the way, Darkest Dungeon is a roguelike strategy RPG game made by Red Hook Studios. It came out a few years ago and has since been released for the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. Above all else, Darkest Dungeon is hard. It is very hard. Even the easiest mode, called Radiant Mode, is still hard. You will lose characters, you will watch them fall, you will watch them die, and you have to get over that in this sort of eldritch abomination, Lovecraftian inspired game. The soundtrack, by the way, is extremely gorgeous, but the one thing that you'll keep in mind most of the time is the Ancestor, this character who sort of narrates your adventures, your dungeon crawling, and all his commentary, which has become like meme worthy. Now that said, this game is, again, extremely hard. It is the Dark Souls of RPG games, and I can feel and hear many people groaning as I use that sort of old terminology. The reason I'm reviewing Darkest Dungeon is because the game has recently come back to the forefront because of the Butcher's Circus DLC. This being player versus player generated battles where you put a team of your 4 characters offered to you by the game versus a team of another person's 4 characters in any combination. Being PPV, certain characters have been modified slightly. The Antiquarian now, instead of just being your money grabber, now throws out stress and things. Using Blight with the Plague Doctor, for instance, also throws out stress as well. And the Leper is still a selfish prick like he is in the main game, which is exciting. Now, one thing I've been thinking of as I've played the Darkest Dungeon DLC is that I feel like they are probably going to put PvP in Darkest Dungeon 2, which is going to be out sooner or later. It's already in development. And so I feel like what we're given here in this DLC is a sort of test run for what they intend to do for Darkest Dungeon 2. And it's funny that I mentioned that, even though I still haven't actually beaten Darkest Dungeon 1. Seriously, I still haven't beaten. Every time I try to go and play into Darkest Dungeon, and I go and I build my characters up, and I get them to max level to beat the first level of the Darkest Dungeon, the actual thing itself that sits there waiting and mocking you, they die. They die because RNG is the true face of evil in this game. If you have not played Darkest Dungeon, you should do so right now. You should do so not later, not eventually. Now, you should put it in your game collection and try it. Please. It's a very enjoyable game, and I don't want to suffer by myself. What are you waiting for? In any case, this has been Cash the Quick. Please like, subscribe, be chill, be mellow.